I'm a huge fan. Could you please introduce yourself?
Yes, I'm Clare Tattersall. I am the founder and creative director of Digital Fashion Week New York and now Digital Fashion Week London, opening in there in February as well.
Okay. All right. So, how did you get into fashion? Did you study fashion? And, how did you meet that intersection between fashion and tech? How did that all start?
So I've been in digital fashion since 2009. I launched
Okay.
a company called Thunder Lily, and we were creating fashion design tools that took you straight to market for independent fashion designers. We were working on a concept of sketch to launch in 24 hours at a zero cost. So you
Mhm.
designed everything in the virtual space, vertical, seamless, and then you would put your designs online. You
Mhm.
People could come look at your designs. They could choose fabrics from our partners in the garment district, the fabric wholesalers and retailers here, and then you could have it sent to be actually made into a physical garment right here again at small production houses in the garment district in New York.
Amazing. So you were already in the sustainability business in as far back as 2009. So, did you
I,
study fashion?
I, sorry.
Did you study fashion?
Well, so I've been designing since I was six. I
Wow.
was actually largely self-taught, so I don't have a degree in fashion design,
But those make the
but
best
I
design.
have integrated in a lot of fashion design classes throughout time.
Mhm.
It's a different experience and it's a different way to go. I think there's enormous value to actually having a degree and going the official route, but it was kind of like Web3 before Web3 existed.
Wow.
Yeah.
I was about to say that the self-taught designers are actually the best designers. For example, the late the designer for Louis Vuitton who passed. I'm trying to remember his name now. He was self-taught. I mean, so there's no shame in it. I think they're the best. They make the best designers.
Yeah, I don't know if they're the best designers. It's
Leslie
one route to
Abloh.
take. I think a formal education is not necessarily for everybody, but I think there's huge value in a formal education. I think you
Definitely.
can self-educate to a very large degree. You can learn how to sew, you can learn technical skills, you can learn design skills. There's a lot of information that's available. When I was learning in books, and
Mhm.
there's a lot of information that you can learn now online as well. So there are different routes, but I would definitely still advocate for formal education. There's a huge amount of training and understanding that somebody's providing to you. You don't have to go and find out what you don't know and
Yeah.
look for the answers to it.
Amazing. Amazing. So how did you start Digital Fashion Week, New York?
So, because I've been working in digital fashion for a long time in fashion technology, I also have been making robotic dresses for a number of years. So I get asked to curate the tech night of fashion shows for some
Mhm.
time. And I have a very good relationship with Fashion Week Brooklyn and the BK Style Foundation.
Mhm.
They're an amazing organization, really committed to getting independent designers into the public space. Huge amount of community work they do. So
Mhm.
I've been very fortunate to have partnered with them for some time. And
Mhm.
it was during the pandemic, looking at different ways to actually present wearable technology
Mhm.
and introduce technology to the public other than through YouTube. So I built virtual galleries, which provided an opportunity to have a more 360 point of view. So I could have a gallery for technology, I could have
Sorry,
a gallery for wearables, and I could have a gallery for digital fashion. So
okay, did
I
you
was
build this
exploring
gallery
all of
yourself?
these, providing, you know, then it was really new and it's so recent.
Okay.
Different ways to explore fashion, and there was just a really great response. It was so exciting to see who was rising up in these different fields as well. And I realized that there was a need for a real platform for the place where innovation and creativity come together. So I launched Digital Fashion Week to look at digital fashion, obviously, but the entire digitalization of the fashion industry. So the reason that I'm doing this is if you look at where digital fashion is now, it's evolved from a design tool. But when you put tools in the hands of creatives, it becomes something else. People take
Yeah.
it and they imagine. So if we keep looking at other innovation in the fashion industry, in the fashion tech industry, then I think we're going to have a really interesting window on what is possible in the future. So at Digital Fashion Week, I try to find new exciting technologies, new ways that we can intersect with fashion, both with digital fashion and physical fashion, how we can layer them and provide exciting experiences.
Amazing, amazing. So, how long has it been going on for now? You say you started during the pandemic, so it should be about 3 years now.
Right. So our soft launch, which was Imagine the Future, was in October 2020. So
Okay.
it was in the beginning of 2021 that I actually started the company and had the official launch of Digital Fashion Week. And it's just grown tremendously, which
Yeah.
is all purely because of the community. It's the creatives are absolutely at the core of this, and the innovators are at the core as well. So I'm super fortunate to be able to work and showcase with the most amazing, exciting people, and it's all because of them that it's really grown and interested
Yeah.
the audience as well.
Amazing, amazing. So, you have Fashion Week coming up in February. So, I'd like you to give us dates, when they're going to be showing this year.
Sure. So in New York, we are February the 9th to the 11th. It's 3 days. We're packing things in for February. In September, we have a little more, an opportunity to sort of extend things a little bit more. So we're packing things into 3 days. We have a networking and speaker event where we open up the floor to speakers who are really bringing in exciting new topics to the conversation. So this is our attempt to really democratize what we're doing and allow people to take the mic. And we have philosophers, so they're looking at the philosophy of fashion in the metaverse. We have people from the finance industry, we have people from NFTs, a super broad range that are opening up our world to new ideas and new points of view in this. Then we have a day of panel discussions, which is absolutely high-level experts from around the world. This is entirely virtual. And it's streamed through our Metaverse Expo. We have sponsor booths, we have digital art, we have some animations in there. And then we have a Metaverse fashion show. So Pixel Canvas are building that for us. We're going to stream animations on a timed basis in there, and we'll have fashion. We have a really exciting drop with Ready Player Me, who are being super generous and working with us to create a unique drop for avatars. We are talking to somebody about a networking event into a fashion house in Spatial. And we have a digital runway show on February the 11th as well. So we have designers. And rather than a conventional runway show, we're looking at sort of installations and how do you interact with the fashion and the models. How can you try it on while a model is wearing it? So we're really looking at how we're layering the digital and the physical experiences there. And then in London, we are February the 17th and 18th. We're packed into 2 days, very exciting. Epic Games is very generously hosting us at their innovation lab, which is an amazing association. So much of the metaverse is built on Unreal Engine. So it just makes so much sense. We're going to be able to screen the metaverse around us. You can wear the Ready Player Me outfits. And you can be present. We'll be able to see you wherever you are around the world while we're there at Epic Games. We have a day of in-person panel discussions, an amazing, exciting lineup of experts who are going to be in London for London Fashion Week. And
incredible.
A day of immersive experiences and digital runway shows as well.
Incredible. So this seems to be much bigger than it was last year. So from what you said, from what you just said, you have two dates. You have one in February, and then you have another one in September that is filled with these amazing events.
Right. So we run twice a year. So both the London and the New York City are in February. We'll hold our next event in September. We run in parallel the Fashion Week of the city as well. So providing different options for how we can interact with fashion.
Amazing. Sounds amazing. Now, you mentioned something about a community. I know that you are on the advisory board of the Metaverse fashion community. So tell us about this community.
So Kazbek is the founder of the Metaverse Fashion Council. I think he's doing an absolutely amazing job of bringing people together. There's an incredible advisory board. It's an absolute honor to be a part of this. And they're really looking at providing direction, advice, guidance, and understanding as we move into the metaverse or into digital worlds entirely. But it's an incredibly large community and a really valuable community as well. I think something that's very important with Web3 and the fashion industry as we are at the moment, there's a lot of people who are really looking at how can we make this a better place? How can we make the world a better place? Very much as you're doing as well. You're bringing people together. You're looking for positive change. You're looking for collaboration and how we can help each other, how we can have conversation. These are all amazing things. Also, how can we really make the world a better place? Digital fashion is a key part of the sustainability conversation. So how can we contribute to that? And how can we have just a kinder, gentler, less polluting, more wonderful fashion industry?
Yeah. I find it interesting that you say this because the metaverse itself is an interesting place, and I'm sure listeners are probably wondering, what is this metaverse thing all about? So can you tell us what the metaverse is for those of us who don't understand, what the metaverse is?
So everyone's going to have a bit of a different point of view on this. So I think very much in layman's terms, then the metaverse is an extended reality. It's a place where you can meet people, your avatar, you can be in this space with your avatar, you can communicate with other people. I think it's a fantastic sort of, it's hard really to say personification, but it's a realization of the idea that technology should facilitate human connections. It should bring us together. And I
Yeah.
see the metaverse very much as a place where we can be together. We can share ideas. You can have experiences no matter where you are or who you are. There are way more technical explanations, but
Yeah, I'm
just
sure.
to give you very much my personal layman's view of what the metaverse is.
Yeah. So the metaverse, how will I put it now? By default, is supposed to be decentralized, but you find out that the way it's constructed is such that it's almost mirroring what has always happened. For instance, to be able to, as a digital fashion designer, your computer system, the system that you use, has to have certain you call them system requirements, which kind of like cuts off a certain number of people, and stops them from participating. For instance, okay, like your digital fashion week. I know that as much as you're trying to involve everyone, you do have to make some money, and I completely understand that. But what are the things that, for instance, Kazbek is doing to bring down these barriers? Because I know that there's this huge talk about decentralization, everybody being their own boss, and we bringing down these barriers and letting everyone come in. But what are the, things that are actively being done to bring down these barriers? For instance, provide laptops for people who or who are interested in digital fashion but can't afford them. For instance, you giving access to some designers who can't afford to pay the fees to show their work. What are the kind of initiatives that are being taken? Are any being taken at all?
Wow, so there's a lot to unpack. that's a huge
I
question.
can
So
imagine.
I'm not going to speak for Kazbek and the Metaverse Fashion Council. I think it would be far better to actually speak to him directly and
Yeah.
have his very specific input into that. I'm greatly honored to be a part of the community, but I don't feel that individuals in the advisory council are necessarily the best people to represent what the overall vision is. And I think that would be an amazing conversation to have with him, because he absolutely is visionary in this way. But to sort of unpack some of your other questions, I think decentralization is aspirational. I don't know. And I'm talking about decentralization as an overall concept. I have to say, I definitely do not call Digital Fashion Week a DAO or anything like that at all. I steer very much away from the word decentralization, purely because there are always decision makers. I strongly believe you do need decision makers in any organization.
Yeah.
We have to curate what we're showing people. When we have artist submissions and we look through those, and we have to make really, really difficult decisions, but we have small spaces, and what we try to do is choose work that we feel is telling the story of where fashion is and what is possible. So, we're just one point of view. It's one curated point of view. There are many different points of view. And I know it's really disappointing for people who don't get into the show, but we're trying to tell a story. Where is fashion? What is possible? Who is working with particular technical skills that we think it's really important to highlight, to show where things are going? So in the same way that fashion is storytelling. It's an expression of us. We're curating the show to tell a point of view from our little corner of the world about what fashion and fashion technology is. So it is not the absolute answer to everything. Very, very, very far from it. And we really encourage so many different points of view. You know, we try to make things as accessible as possible. You know, we live in the real world, so you know, choices have to be made. We have costs associated with that. So, you know, all that I think everybody can do is do their best to help move things forward a little bit, but there is no absolute perfect solution to anything.
So sorry for kind of like putting you on the spot there, but I'm actually coming from a place. I don't know if you've heard of Leslie Holden of the Digital Fashion Group. Have you heard of that?
Yeah.
Okay. So Leslie did something fantastic for us by providing scholarships to the Digital Fashion Group Academy for 5 members of this community who were finalists at a recently concluded fashion contest that we had. And through that, he's empowering these designers with digital fashion skills, which is amazing. This is a training that wouldn't have been accessible to us if we had to pay from our own pockets, because I mean, it's pretty expensive. I mean, the scholarships are worth thousands of euros. Now, this is just a suggestion. Maybe in the future, I know that this is something that we'll probably have to talk about, you know, in terms of collaboration. If, you know, a certain aspect of your show is, you know, dedicated to people who just want to showcase their talents, amazing talents, want to showcase their talent in 3D, but, you know, can't afford to pay those fees. You know, maybe we'll have to get a sponsor, because I know that you have bills to pay. You know, probably we'll get a sponsor for that, and you know, we can talk about that, you know, outside of this interview.
So first of all, Leslie Holden and Sean Childs as well. They're just absolutely amazing, and the program that they're offering is absolutely amazing. I mean, we're doing something that's completely different. We're a fashion show. We have a very small application fee. Beyond that, for designers to participate in the virtual aspects, it's free.
Oh, really?
But we have a very small processing application fee.
I think it's $20.
Yes.
Is it $20?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So for the digital designers, beyond that, there are no costs at all. You know, we don't offer programming or, you know, expensive curriculum or anything like that. So it's an entirely different platform.
No. What I'm saying is, after we learn these skills, after we're empowered, you know, would like to showcase on platforms like yours. You know, because the last time I checked, I think it was for Fashion Week September. There was a category for $1,000. There was another category for 2,500 if you had to do like a fashion film. So I thought those fees were still applicable in February.
No. You're confusing everything.
Okay.
So we have the in-person runway shows with models and castings and hair and makeup. So there's obviously costs. It's far lower than any other cost in New York Fashion Week. Far lower. It's a fraction of the price of anybody else. And we have sponsors who pay to sponsor our event, but that's not the digital fashion designers. Unless you want to be a featured fashion designer, in which case you're effectively sponsoring. So that's just totally wrong.
Okay. So basically, all we're required, if we want to show at Digital Fashion Week, all that's required of us is the $20 registration fee. Is that what you're saying?
That is all that's required to apply Yes, and
Okay.
if you are selected from that, but it's a curated situation, if you're selected from that, then there are no other fees for digital designers.
Oh, amazing, amazing. Thank you so much for that clarification. Right. So for those of us who don't know, can you tell us what digital fashion is? Because over here, we feel that fashion is divided into two, which is hand-drawn illustration and then digital illustration. But then there's another type of illustration which they also call it digital illustration or digital fashion. So what is digital fashion to you?
Digital fashion is creating fashion using digital fashion design tools, and you have a 3D object as a result of that.
Okay. But so how does that how is that different from 2D digital fashion?
It's 3D as opposed to 2D. So
Okay.
you're creating a garment, which is entirely different from illustrating a garment. So,
Mhm.
it's the same in the digital world as it is in the physical world. So you can sketch a garment in 2D in the physical world, and then you can actually make it as a three-dimensional object from a pattern, a fabric, etc. And you're just translating that concept straight into the digital world as well.
Mm.
So
Mm.
you can use tools for illustration, for digital illustration, or you can create a 3D object using a number of tools like Clare or Browseware or Electra, and have a 3D object as a result of that.
Amazing. Can you tell us some of the career pathways? So I've been empowered with the 3D fashion skills. What can I do with them? What are the career pathways that are available to me as a 3D fashion designer?
Well, so I'm not really a career advisor. I have an exhibition platform, so it's probably best to ask different designers how they feel that they could go with their skills. You can be an independent designer, and you can sell your artwork. You can sell your 3D designs as wearables, or you can work in a physical fashion house as a designer. There's a lot of design houses that are moving more and more into putting
3D.
their design process in the
Mm.
digital space, which is a lot more efficient and effective.
Yeah, amazing. So you were talking about the Digital Fashion Week New York. Apparently sorry, London. So apparently you have New York and then you're showing in London in September. Is that what that means?
No, 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 no. So we will be doing everything in September. I gave you the dates. We're doing Digital Fashion Week New York in February and Digital Fashion Week London in February also.
Amazing. So are
So
there
there's
any
two
plans of
fashion
coming?
weeks. Every city has two fashion weeks a year.
Okay.
So it's basically like every 7 months and every 5 months. So February and September. So, and we
Okay.
run in parallel with those.
Okay. Amazing. So any plans of coming to the African continent? Because apparently, you're going to be in the major fashion capitals of the world. I guess that's the um, long-term goal.
Right. Expanding is challenging. It's finding partners on the
Mhm.
ground as well. Understanding where the industry is in each different continent, in each different country, in each different city. New York is very different from London, which is very different from Paris. Each of those fashion weeks, I mean, they have fashion weeks in all of those because they have entirely different personalities
Mhm.
and different angles that are really showing, and that's why people go to all of them. So expanding from one city to another basically we're doubling by going into London already. So we very much hope to expand and move and share what is possible with each city, but there's a lot to be considered.
Yeah, I can imagine. But we hope, that you can come to Lagos, Nigeria very soon. Maybe in the next 1 or 2 years.
That sounds an amazing invitation.
Yeah. It's been wonderful, absolutely wonderful talking with you, Claire. And I love your blue hair. I thought it was just the avatar. I didn't know, you had blue hair in real life.
Yeah. Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah. So I'm going to throw this open now. I'm going to throw the interview session open to community members. Does anyone have any questions for Claire? Anyone listening in the comment section? Do we have any questions for Claire?
Hello. Can we just unmute ourselves?
Yeah. Please introduce yourself and let's hear your question.
Oh, not a question per se. I actually just jumped in because I wanted to come and show support for Claire. My name is Yemi
Oh,
Scott. I'm the founder for Quirky Couture. I had an opportunity to showcase for Digital Fashion Week in 2021. That was when
oh,
I met
amazing.
Claire. So once I saw that you're going to have Claire on, I was like, I definitely have to come on to just come and say hi and to say well done. I can see how far the Digital Fashion Week has grown, how it has expanded, and I'm constantly championing the cause. Every time I meet a digital fashion designer, I'm like, have you applied for Digital Fashion Week, New York? So well done, Claire. It's amazing to see how you put your boots in, you rolled up your sleeve, and you're bringing this opportunity to every digital designer globally. And I just want to say, well done, well done. Oh, yes. And that's all.
Thank you so much. I think I got the second half of that. The volume is really, really low for me for some reason. I've got my volume turned up fully, but thank you.
Okay.
I heard the second half. Thank you very much. I don't know if there was a question in the first part.
I think she was just saying hello and just thanking you for the opportunity. Apparently, she's a designer.
Oh,
She's a
thank you,
digital
Yemi.
designer she showed on your show in 2021. Yemi, would like to know
Right.
more about you. Are you in Nigeria or where are you based? Hello, Yemi.
Sorry, did you ask me a question?
Yes, I did.
Oh,
Are you based in Nigeria?
oh, okay. So yes, when I did the Digital Fashion Week New York, I was still in Nigeria, but currently I am not in Nigeria. Maybe I should give you a little background about myself.
All right.
So I found digital fashion in 2016 when I went into Second Life, and then I started to explore Marvelous Designer. For anybody that
Okay.
has been long into the game, then we had to teach ourselves how to use the softwares that were available because we didn't have access to any kind of tutorial videos. So I'm a self-taught digital designer. My brand actually exists in the metaverse and has been since 2018. I have background in VR game development, and fashion is just something that I do as a passion. And having that opportunity when Claire, was putting the open call out for digital designers in 2022, I quickly picked it up because I had done Fabricant season 1, and Claire's opportunity came in at just a perfect time. And it was, and because, like you said, digital fashion is not something that is well known back in Nigeria. I mean, you start to talk about immersive tech and all of that, it's as if you're speaking Spanish.
Greek.
Yeah, so for someone like myself that has been in the space for so long, I can be in spaces now, and I confidently tell people that I'm a pioneer in this space because it takes a lot of courage to stay in a field that is very emerging and that we did not know what the future was going to be. And it's amazing now that I see how it is expanding and how much people are just coming into the space and the opportunities that are so, and we're still talking about decentralization. Yes, it's not there yet, but it's the fact that someone like myself that was based in Lagos could actually be a part of Digital Fashion Week New York, and I didn't have to travel to participate. And now it's expanding, and we can't wait to see where it takes everybody. And I know a couple of digital designers in Lagos as well, and they're doing amazing work. And it's just the opportunity to just create more jobs, basically for anybody that is interested in fashion and they don't even have the basic fashion skills. And we can tell them that, you know what, this is an opportunity for you, and you can learn the software. And if you learn it well enough and you're good, this is a platform where you can also, be recognized and can bring value to your community.
Maybe I should throw the question to you, Yemi. What are the opportunities? What are the career paths available as a digital 3D designer?
So as a digital fashion designer, these are career paths. So you can either choose to lecture, you can choose to offer workshops, classes to students, even high school students that are interested in and want to explore. You can choose to teach them and give them the basic knowledge of using softwares like Flow 3D and Marvelous Designer. For those that want to go into the digital fashion itself, you could, like Claire said, collaborate with fashion houses that are regular traditional fashion houses and help them to prototype before they go into production, which would greatly reduce the cost of just running the business. So that's what digital fashion does. It's a cost reducer because you can produce digitally before you commit to something large scale. And then for someone like myself, what I do now is I sit on the board or the core team for the Fashion DAO, and I am their technical head of a department where we just collaborate and advise and consult.
Can you go about that again? What was the name of the Fashion DAO?
The fashion, it is the Fashion DAO. It's called the Fashion DAO. Yes, it's run by the founder is Nico, Nico Farah, and she actually worked. I met her during the Digital Fashion Week, New York, in 2022 because she was a technical partner for Claire. Yes, she did Queendom, exactly.
I'm not sure Claire is hearing us. Claire, did you hear that?
Yes.
Did you hear the kind of connections that your platform is creating with, and you don't even know about the connections?
Yeah, no, it's creating partnerships is something that we're very, very proud of. And our networking events, I hear from a lot of people that they met somebody else, they're going to partner and collaborate with them. Bringing people together is really something we're super, super proud of. Obviously, it's not going to, it doesn't mean if you come to an event that you're going to meet somebody that you're going to partner and collaborate with, but there's a lot of opportunity, and Web3 is so much about collaborations and partnerships. We have a lot of mainstream brands coming to our events, and they are looking to connect with designers. And an important part of this conversation is how designers are actually going to maintain agency over their work going forward as well. So all these different platforms like, the Fashion DAO and everything, they're providing opportunities for designers to really maintain agency, to maintain their independence and maintain their profile as an artist. So it's just wonderful to hear about these opportunities, but that really is at the core of Web3 is collaborations, partnerships, a more open possible world.
It just shows the amazing work that you're doing. Does anybody have any more questions for Claire before I let her go? Anyone? And Yemi, I think we're going to need to have you speak more about 3D later on. I'll probably reach out later on. Does anybody have any questions? Yemi, you were about to say something.
Oh, no, I just wanted to say I'm always happy and always available to lend my voice in this space. I've been singing and croaking like a bird since 2016, so I'm still speaking and I'm happy to keep speaking.
I definitely will be reaching out. I'll be reaching out soon.
So, Claire, I want to thank Emmy for being part of Digital Fashion Week in previous seasons. It was really great to have you on board. We actually have, there have been several designers from Africa. And I want to tell your community, like, the level of talent is really high. So you should all be very proud of that and be inspired by each other and help to raise each other up as well. So definitely Africa, there is a lot of technical talent. It's very exciting. And creative talent too.
It's great to know, great to hear.
Thank you, Claire. Much appreciated.
You're welcome.
All right then. Claire, I think at this point, I'd need to let you go. Thank you so much for honoring my invite. It's been a long time coming, you know. We were supposed to do this September last year, but you were so busy with Fashion Week. And thank you so much. I know you're busy with this too, you know, with the Fashion Week in February, but, you know, you were gracious enough to be able to take out time and, you know, come speak with us. Thank you so much, and we hope that you.
Thank you for bringing people together, and I wish you all the best.
Thank you too.
To see more talent coming from this group. Okay,
definitely.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, you too. And hopefully, if we can't do, all right then. She had to go. So thank you so much, everyone, for you know, listening in, and you know, we've had more people come in now than usual. Thank you so much, guys, and you know, see you later.
Bye.